Welcome to the Flux Dev Meeting, July 19th. We have any topics for the agenda? We've just had a discussion off camera.
Yeah, let's talk with what's happening in source controller. Danny, I see you have approved some stuff in source controller.
Oh yeah, the proxy per Git repository proxy settings. I have approved the implementation and left the minor some submissions.
And this one is adding a new optional field, right? Which should have no impact on anything. But we can't backward this one being a new feature, right? So this one will go into 1.1 source controller. What other things we can get in for the next release? Have you looked at the cert secret ref specification?
Hadn't related.
Yeah.
The one Sully created, right? 6. I think that depended on this one, so we're waiting for this.
Okay, so first we have to merge the right. It's a prerequisite. No.
But I reviewed that maybe twice. Can do a third review.
Do we have
Wait.
cert secret ref in the other APIs?
In OCA, I think we have.
What
In
about-
OCA, we have.
What about Git?
No. No, we don't.
So how do we do this for Git?
I think it's in the main secret object itself, the main secret room.
Oh, and we can't deprecate it because it's V1. Great.
We don't need to, like we can add another field and say you can use this field as well.
Yes, the CA file is in the secret. Yeah, anyway, we can go ahead with the Helm stuff and decide later if we want to add it to Git. But even if we add it, we can't deprecate the current behavior, so it will be there forever. Not sure if it's worth it, but yeah, maybe from a security point of view, if you want to create some kind of policy to prevent TLS. Yeah, I'm not sure if it makes sense to do it for Git. And then, so first is proxy, right? Goes to Git repository. Then we get set secret ref in Helm repository. And finally, we get TLS registries with self-signed certs for OCI, right?
Sorry, I'm catching up. What's the issue related to self-sensors?
So you are adding cert secret ref, right, to Helm repository. And we deprecate the fields in the secret.
Right.
But this also happens for Git repository. The secret contains.
Yeah, Git repository, it contains only the CA, the root CA. It doesn't, Git repository doesn't support client authentication. You can only provide the CA for the, so if the Git is using a self-signed certificate, you can provide the CA for the client to verify whether the certificate of the server is valid or not. But there is no client certificate authentication for Git repository. I don't know if that's even possible. I'll have to look into Google for that. But for Helm repository, you can, the server can validate the client and the client, there's MTLS basically. Both of them can validate each other. So for that, it's a different story.
Yeah, and in the end, the CA is not a secret. It's public information, so it's not.
No, the CA is, I mean, it depends, but you can still put the CA in the secret. You can, if you like, what you can do is if you're using a if you have, let's say, an OCI registry, which you, and you're using a self-signed certificates, and then you want to enable client authentication as well on that server. So then while starting
Yeah,
the
I
server,
get it. I get it. What I'm saying is that the CA is not a secret,
right? Yeah,
while the client certificate is.
right. Definitely. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we need to get the search secret ref first, then we unblock Sule, right? With the
OCI stuff. Yeah.
Helm OCI.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also adding support for insecure and cosine, and that is requiring some changes to how we run tests. Not run tests, but basically, right now what happens is you spin up a Docker registry and you put it on localhost, right? So even if you put it on localhost and you tell it to run HTTPS, Docker will automatically downgrade HTTPS to HTTP. So you're not really testing anything HTTPS. So I am writing some test infra which will help us actually test HTTPS and HTTP separately. So it will confirm whether things are working right or not.
Okay. Okay, let's get first the proxy Git repository in.
Yeah.
Look at Sunny's comments.
Yeah.
So we at least merge this one this week. And hopefully also the API change also this week with search secret ref to unblock Sole.
Okay.
Both of these are on you.
Are you in touch with Scott Rigby or Matt Farina or anyone from the Helm team apart from Andrew Block?
I was speaking with Scott yesterday, if you need to talk to Scott.
Oh, great. Could you ask him to look for the PR which adds insecure support for Helm OCI? I can send you the link if you want.
Wasn't that merged?
No, it's so Andrew Block approved it, but then you need another reviewer to approve it because it's like Excel, the size.
Oh,
So
okay.
So I was hoping Scott Ridley could take a look at it, and I texted him, but he hasn't replied. So this is the one.
So we need this in and released, right? Before we can enable it.
Yeah. So once this gets merged, we can actually implement RFC4 everywhere. Like we have the bits and pieces to implement it.
Merged and release. Which will, I don't know, when is the next? This one will get into a minor release because it can't be a patch in Helm.
Yeah.
So in, I don't know, 2 months or one, when is the next one is 13 September, the next minor release.
So
Yeah.
what else? I discovered through an issue that the ref name support that we added for Git repository doesn't work on DevOps or code commit. Uh, I'm guessing all Git V2 servers because so GitHub, GitLab, all of these Git V1 servers, they let you track the PR. So the format is something like refs/pull/1/head, head being the more important part. Git V2 servers, they don't support head, they support merge. So instead of tracking the head, you need to like fetch it and create a merge commit. And that you can like actually fetch from the from upstream. I posted it on that issue. So I think we should note that down in the docs that graph name won't work as expected if you're using Git V2 servers.
If you're using Azure DevOps.
DevOps and code commit. Any server that exclusively uses Git V2.
Yeah, okay, so this one will close it through a docs change, right?
What bug change?
1166 will be closed through a docs change.
Yep.
I will assign it to you
What else?
and label it one fix.
I have another PR that could use a review. So that PR is in package, which adds support for Git tag verification. So then you can verify tags and commits.
Oh yeah. I seen this. Yeah, looks good to me. Can you make the change here suggested referencing tag
I
instead?
was waiting for all the reviews to accumulate and then actually make the changes in one go. That's just the naming thing.
Sunny, are you available to review this one?
Not immediately, but I'll get to it.
Okay, I've asked for your review here. So, Sanskar, if we get this over the line with tag info commit, then you can do the verification, right?
Verification of what?
Of the
Like-
tag with OpenPGP.
Yeah. I have a branch of source controller which works on my laptop, like which
Okay.
uses this rules.
Great, that's a really nice feature to have.
Actually, think I made a commit. I didn't open a PR, but I definitely made a commit which has the changes in source control. Let me find out. Yeah, this is it.
What's this tag and head mode? We verify both or what?
Hide was thinking we could do both, right? Like you could, since we accept like an array of key rings, right? So, and we just loop through it, right? So we could verify both the tag and the head. So that way it's like extra secure. I'm open to like a different name for that. I couldn't figure out a better name, so I just did an and named it. But we could change the name.
Did you test this with my key?
With your key, I don't remember because I did it like 2 weeks back, and I took like 4 days off last week. But I'll do it tonight or tomorrow. Once I make the proxy PR changes and the Helm search secret changes.
Yeah, I think we can add some kind of real end-to-end test. Get the latest tag of pod info and verify it with the key, my key on GitHub. Also about key formats and stuff like that. For example, GitHub signs tags. If you don't do it yourself, they sign it. But so someone tried to get the GitHub key and put it in Flux, but the format of the GitHub key is not compatible with Flux.
Okay.
So they had to get the key, convert it with OpenPGP to a newer format, and then it actually worked. So yeah, not much we can do about it. We support newer key formats, but having an end-to-end test in source control will be good for this. In case, I don't know, we upgrade OpenPGP or some other dependency and all of a sudden all the keys formats are bad, we will know about it.
Yeah.
Because if we generate every time a new key, right, we'll always test on the latest format, which will always work. But
Did you manage to get that GitHub action working? The one which detects if the tag is unsigned and then it will cancel the release, or is that still?
no, I haven't retried writing that. There are major differences between Git CLI versions. and looks like depending on what GitHub node worker you get a different Git CLI. So maybe one idea would be to run it inside of a container
Mhm.
and pin the Git version there or something like that. Yeah, maybe next week I'll give it a try again. Any other things? Mateus, how are you?
Hi. Yeah, actually, since I didn't came to the last two meetings, I decided to come today, but there is nothing on my end. I kind of addressed those minor details in notification controller, and I kind of have what I want for now with that regard. So I'm here just to be here.
Thank you.
Hi, Matthias. Did you or do you have the time to test the Gerrit feature for image automation controller? The one like I remember someone else writing like a message template which would generate the change ID
Oh,
automatically.
right. Yeah, like their suggestion, right? Yeah, I can try to do that. Yeah.
And that would be great if you could just try to see if it actually works with Gerrit. If you generate the change ID yourself, yeah, if that entire workflow works, then we can actually like merge that PR.
Yeah, I can try to see like I mean if we use what that person suggested, or I can also try whatever else is missing and let you guys know.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah, maybe we can, if Mateus, if you are available for this, to write a blog post on Flux with Gerrit.
Yeah.
Um yeah,
Like
yeah, if I manage it to if I make it work, I can maybe do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want that information to be only on the pull request. We should have it on the website because, yeah,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
During
Yeah,
Kubernetes, I heard so many people like wanting Gerrit support. So
yeah, that makes sense. When I tried, the problem is that because there's that hook, right, that generates the ID in the commit message. So that with that message template, maybe it doesn't work. Yeah, I could write that if it works, I can write the blog post for sure. Yep.
I think
Thank
we
you.
would need to also add that to the image automation guide, right? Like we should add it to definitely add it to the image automation guide on what kind of message template you need if you want this to work with Gerrit, because that becomes like an essential part of the image automation object, because otherwise it won't work. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool, thank you. Anything else?
I we can discuss one more thing. So I've been working on automating a lot of the secrets we create for CI. You've seen, right? So all the IAM permissions we create, I think we do that manually now. Recently, I've started running the tests and gathering all the specific permissions we need for every test and listing them in the README of the individual test. Now I created another Terraform module which helps you create an IAM role or whatever is equivalent in different providers and get the secret of the service principal or service account and add it automatically to GitHub. So I've been testing it in the past few days. It's working and trying to fix any issues that I see. I'm trying to document everything in the README of the test, like in such a way that when we have to, let's say, change our Azure organization, I think Hide was talking about we may have to change it. So we have to recreate all the secrets. So the readme of individual tests will have a Terraform configuration, which will have all the details that you need to recreate all the secrets. Just change your the key of the creator, and then it will create other keys for the CI.
Nice.
So I'm trying to document everything so that it becomes easier. Also, you can keep track of what secret is used by, like the name of the secret used by a test, and it's what's the name of the secret in the provider or in the cloud provider. We don't have any record of that right now, right?
It's
So I think
once someone touches those keys in the cloud, we are lost. So yeah, it's great. I mean, I don't know, maybe with Azure we'll have to change the account. So then you can regenerate everything with your Terraform. And maybe for Google, we should do the same, as in manually delete everything. End-to-end test will fail everywhere. Then you run the Terraform that regenerates all the secrets. And we have like a fresh setup using automation only. Because I'm guessing now some of the secrets also in Google Cloud are created manually, right? The one that we use.
I spoke to Hide about it. Initially he wanted like use and throw kind of setup. You don't like, it helps him not to go and click things. You just run Terraform and it does everything. And then you get rid of the Terraform state file. But if you do that, you cannot delete those things that you created. If you need to delete them in the future, you have to go and click and delete everything manually. Should we keep it this way, or should we have a common Terraform state stored in some bucket somewhere and use it to update things? It's more organizing between people, whoever updates things. I think only you and Hide has permissions for that because it interacts with GitHub secrets.
The issue is if we use a Google bucket for GCP and an Azure bucket for Azure, those are part of the count, right? So if you change the account, you also lose access to your state files.
No, that's fine. You don't need the state file if you change it. You need the
Oh,
state
you
file
need
to
it only
update
to
or delete.
update.
You'll create a new state if you change the account.
Yeah, okay, I see no issue in storing the state files. But in each, for each provider, separately.
Depends. You can store Azure state in Google as well. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
It's just
we
that
shouldn't.
state.
Because the state contains secrets. If our Google account gets compromised, we don't
Others will
want
also.
to compromise every other cloud account we have. So if we do go with persisting the state files, they should be in each cloud provider and not one huge state file with everything inside, because that opens our organization to all. Yeah.
But this would require you and Hide to learn this new way of doing things. I'm trying to document that.
Yeah, maybe you can do a workshop for us and show how it's done. But anyway, let's finalize now without the state files what you currently have with the scripts and merge all of this and roll them out. What's the status with getting some touches work into Flux main?
So changes are merged in the refactor branch. I'm just now rerunning those things using this tooling, the IAM generation tooling. And tomorrow when Hide comes back, I'll tell him how to use this tooling to generate secret, and then we can merge all those to main and enable everything. So I'm just testing everything, making sure tomorrow I can just tell Hide do this, take steps, and it will be ready.
So this week we'll have the end-to-end tests. Okay.
There is some weirdness I found that if you create the service principal using Terraform, somehow it becomes an admin to ACR, and when you try to push things to ACR, it says admin is not enabled. So you have to change ACR configuration to enable admin. It's a short-lived container registry. I think it's fine. And I could not figure out why this happens. I found it in the documentation in Terraform. It says this is different from what you create in the portal. But how do I make it equivalent to what you create in the portal? Could not find any reference. I tried various things, but couldn't make it work.
So it has
So
less permissions than the one you create in the portal, and then you can't push it. The first push is the issue, right? That also creates the repository.
in case of ACR, you create repository separately and then you push separately.
Oh, okay. And the create repository API call
Works.
fails.
That works.
That one
Just
works.
push fails. Push fails.
God.
I don't know what's happening.
But on Google, everything is cool, right?
Google, I think, yeah, Google has simpler IAM.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Great work on the end-to-end test. I really want to see them merged.
So Santoshi did a lot of the most of the work, I would say. I'm just doing the automation, the other things. She wrote all the tests.
Santoshi.
Thank you. Stefan, I wanted to ask, have you seen the fail fast PR in Flux CD package?
Yes, I looked at it. 1 second. Yeah, what I'm not sure about all of this is why do we bail out at the first resource that becomes failed, or we wait for other resources to become current?
But yeah, we wait for other resources to become current. So we only bail out if the rest of them are current and then we have a failed resource.
So how is that fail fast? So let me give you an example. We have one deployment and 2 jobs. The deployment rolls out, one job runs for hours, and another job fails at init. I don't know, image pullback off or whatever. What happens? Do we wait for that job that's running to finish 2 hours, then fail, or we immediately fail because the other job failed?
At the moment, we wait for the job to finish running because it will be in progress, yes. So yeah, we would wait. This is
But that's not failing fast, it's the opposite.
it is faster than what we have right now, where we do not fail until we do not fail at all. We just time out if they are not all current yet.
No, so the idea of the fail fast option is you scan the resources. The moment any resource ends up in a failed state, we bail out,
Oh, okay.
right?
I guess the question, is there any possibility that there's a resource that's failed because another one is in progress?
Even if that's the case, we have the retry timeout, right? So we fail fast. Oh, this job failed. Then what customized controller do? Reschedule the reconciliation based on the retry timeout, retry interval,
Okay.
right? So we have discovered like people should set lower retry intervals and short wait times. And that's an issue we currently have, right? Because if people set the wait time not to a short value, but to, let's say, 2 hours, we never bail out. So it's impossible for you to correct an error because the controller is stuck there for that. Yes, in the timeout. Now, what the fail fast should do is we look at the timeout only if all resources are progressing and are progressing. If any resource at any time runs into a failure and is marked as stale or failed status, we bail out. So we give people the possibility of fixing the problem, and not what people are doing right now. They have to go in, they fix the problem in Git, they do a Git commit, source controller reconciles it, but customized controller is blocking waiting. If we fail fast, then customized controller will retry in 2 minutes or whatever, and need to retry using the fix from Git. So we give people a chance to fix stuff and not having to manually go in there and do kubectl delete pod customized controller, because there is no other way to reschedule a fix, right? So you need to change the fail fast
To fail immediately.
code to fail immediately as it has found a failed resource.
Okay.
Is the same as in GitHub Actions. So in GitHub Actions, you also have this fail fast option. And if you run in a matrix 10 end-to-end tests, the first end-to-end test that fails cancels everything. You don't have to wait for anything else to finish anymore, and cancels the whole stuff and reports, hey, it failed. So you don't have to, wait hours. So then you have to rerun it with the fix. We want to do the same here.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, that does. I'll change it. All of this.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think that's about it for today.
I have one small thing. Stay tuned to the VS Code extension for a pre-release and possibly a full release within the next few days. We're making a big change, and we will be using the Node.js client library and informers now, so you won't be clicking the refresh button anymore.
Nice. And it will work with 2.0, right?
And it will work with 2.0. It already works with 2.0. Yeah.
Okay. Great news. Looking forward to it. Okay, that was it. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Everyone.